My story begins kind of like it's a fish out of water story. Even though I was born in South Central LA, my particular story starts 20 minutes outside of that in the San Gabriel Valley in West Covina, La Puente area. So I grew up in like an all Mexican, like super violent neighborhood. I didn't even know it was as dangerous as it was. I just thought that that's how people live. My neighbor's house became a crack house. Like I didn't know that. I just knew they didn't turn on their electricity. And I thought it was like camping, like they cook with candles, but no, it was crack. I was the one black kid being teased because of my color, getting chased home, getting banged on when you walking home, like, where you from, me? I'm like, and I recognize homie, like, I'm like, Paco, man, like, I live 2 streets from you. What are you talking about? And then even when we moved out to the suburbs, even there, again, like, that was a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood, and we were the poor kids that just moved in, and just these weird black people that spoke Spanish, you know what I'm saying? And like, they didn't get us. And even down the street at the church we went to, for some reason for me, I was getting convicted. Like, I feel like God has split the roof open and is talking to me directly. But the guys that were my age, I remember them not being affected at all. But it would just trip me out, cause like, I felt like nobody else felt like that. But in my mind, it went back to just same way I grew up. Well, I've been the only my whole life. So if I'm gonna be the only here, I'll be the only there. Meanwhile, church service I was never missing. Mama made me take notes to see if I was listening. But I lived among the Mexicans, so I never did the Crip thing. Instead, they gave me cans to write my name up on the bricks thing. All the while God was training me to hear his voice. Cause only he knew that I would soon make a choice. I was this tagger / rapper, son of a Black Panther. And they got high hopes for him. He gonna be a pastor. So should he run with the church boys, the backpackers, the thugs? And it's funny, it seemed like the Lord's answer was all of the above. I like to say that I was slow cooked, in that I would say it started in 6th grade and then culminated my junior year, examining just my experience in life and just always, again, feeling like I don't belong. Whether I was born the wrong color, in the wrong neighborhood, in the wrong decade, to the wrong parents, like all this, like I'm just not an alpha male. I was an artist, like I would draw all the time. I wrote poetry, come on now, you know what I'm saying? So I think there was a moment when my father finally pointed to a particular passage, Psalms 139, before you were in the womb, I knew you. He said, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows well. And I think that it was there that I realized that my value is not determined by some particular innate quality that I have. No, your value is because God was willing to pay the cost of his son for you. That's the price he was willing to pay for you. But it cost me personally nothing. That all this was on purpose. Everything you are, your whole goulash of experiences and gifts, all the scars, every hurt, every failure, being spit on walking home, like all this, it's on purpose. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You're exactly what I want you to be. You was looking at a last born, rightful heir to the throne, son of a nobody with poverty in my bones, and that's beautiful. See, we ain't never had nothing, but nothing was sufficient. It kept my belly full of the stuff the rich was missing, and that's beautiful. My mama used to say, don't nothing God do go to waste. And I'm seeing that happen in my life. When I started rapping full time and doing poetry full time, being so comfortable, you know, among Mexicans, being able to identify with their struggle. I know what it means, like I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like I speak the language, I know the slang, I know the pitfalls, like I know all that. I feel like my run has been a proclamation of that truth, that like, My block didn't make me, you know, the creator did. So in honor of Jimi Hendrix, I string my life instrument backwards and choose to play the back, cause in the word last is first, and that's beautiful. Like the pain and every scar you got, I prefer to call them life tattoos. And they're masterpieces, and they're beautiful. In the most intimate and personable way to say this, he's given me personhood. My name is Jason Petty, AKA Propaganda, and I am second.